guys like orange juice?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be talking about every single episode in Season 1 of Star Wars Tales of the Jedi. God damn, that was a mouthful. But alright, so my first thoughts before I get into each episode, I really loved this. Last night I watched Andor, stupidly. I thought I'd watch Andor, I'll do my video, then I'll watch Tales of the Jedi, and it'll be a blast. I watched Andor, and I gotta say, it was pretty boring. I don't want to do my video on it. It was an okay episode, but it does not need a YouTube video. So first we have Life and Death. It's described as a child goes through a rite passage with unexpected results, and it's Ahsoka being born. That was the first episode's just really cute. You can see her being born. You see she can control beasts like Anakin and whatnot, and it's just kind of like, oh, she's a Jedi. It's just the origin of Ahsoka basically, and you get to see her family, and it's just a really fun, cute episode. That little tiger saber-tooth thing was pretty fucking scary, though. Just that scene of Ahsoka's mom playing with Ahsoka and then the fucking saber-tooth tiger stalking them, that was my favorite moment. That was pretty dope. Really scary. That's one thing I liked about this, is that it felt like, obviously it's animated and you automatically think that for children. It just felt like Star Wars, which is very refreshing. And I know I've said Andor's refreshing, but like getting this with lightsabers and real Jedis and Count Dooku and Ahsoka and Mace Windu and we have Yaddle, you know what I mean? Like, this felt like Star Wars. But that being said, episode 1 was probably my least favorite just because, like, nothing happened. I loved it. I will rewatch this probably 1,000 times. Not just episode 1, the whole thing. Now, episode 2 is described as 2 Jedi are dispatched to resolve a hostage situation on a distant planet. Now, it's just, this is where it's pretty fun. You get Count Dooku, you get Qui-Gon Jinn, young Count Dooku. You get to see, like, early stages of Dooku getting a little evil. It seems like they were sent by the Senate to go retrieve his son and all this shit. So then the senator shows up, he brings an army, they're fighting, his son's like, Dad, what are you doing? And Dooku almost kills him, throws Qui-Gon Jinn away because he knows Qui-Gon Jinn's gonna stop him, and it's very interesting here, Qui-Gon instantly goes to the boy and goes, save your father, to have him run over and stop Dooku from killing his father, which that had me thinking, and some of you might know the answer out there, I don't know. But like, it felt like Qui-Gon's like, oh fuck, my master's gonna kill this guy. I gotta get his son to save him. But like, if you know that about your master, has Dooku done this before? Has Qui-Gon seen that Dooku kinda can go to the dark side a little bit? I don't know, just getting into more of like the prequels, like before the prequel stuff with them. I didn't know I would want that so much, but that was so interesting. But so episode 3 now. Choices. I don't think I said the names of the other two, actually. But so we got episode 3 choices. Jedi Knights investigate the mysterious death of one of their own. So this one, we get old Mace Windu back. We get to see Mace Windu and a little bit older Count Dooku, and they're going to investigate. They were told the Jedi was killed there. They get there, they realize the people there actually did it. They are the murderers. They get the whole fight scene with them. It was just a lot of fun. Mace Windu accidentally murders someone. Well, not. I mean, I guess I don't know if that's called murder because it was self-defense. I guess it's still. He still killed the guy.
No!
My favorite episode is episode 4, The Sith Lord. I think 4 and 2 are probably my favorites, but this one's described as a Jedi Knight makes a troubling discovery. This one, so it starts out, and you hear about that Qui-Gon Jinn has found Darth Maul, or he's stumbled upon Darth Maul or whatever, and you're like, oh, wait a minute. Actually, it starts with Dooku erasing the fucking, all the clones and shit on Kamino and all that stuff from episode 2 where Obi-Wan couldn't find it. You get to see he deleted it, and then he finds out about Darth Maul and Qui-Gon and all that. And then there's a little time jump. Darth Maul and Qui-Gon die. We both know, as if you guys are here with me. We know that Maul doesn't die until Obi-Wan gets him later on, but it was really cool getting this. This reminded me of like season 7 of Clone Wars, where all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, we're in episode 3? Like, it was just kind of fun being like, oh fuck, we're in episode, oh god, now we're after episode 1, you know? That ends up leading to Yaddle following Dooku all the way to Palpatine, which I didn't expect to get a Palpatine cameo on this show, so that was fucking dope. He's talking to him. It felt very, very, very similar to him and Anakin having a little combo, but then Yaddle reveals herself, and they have a full-out fight, and Dooku murders Yaddle after their amazing fight. And then Palpatine gets like a little fucking shit-eating grin on his face, like, oh yes, you killed her. Good job, Dooku. Yeah, I know that's not his voice, but that's how I heard him in my head, you know? When that was over, I knew that's an episode I might rewatch multiple. Or like that, see, that'll be a fun one to like, you watch Phantom Menace, watch that episode, or watch even a couple of these, then go watch Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, and like, I hope we get more Tales of the Jedi set in between stories. I would even be completely fine with some in the sequel trilogy. I know that's blasphemy. If it could make it better, I'm totally on board for it, you know? Like, because it's not, like, I love the prequels, and then these little episodes will just make those even more fun. So if they could do something to make me enjoy the other movies better, I'm completely on board for it. Or even like set a couple of these like in between something that happened in Obi-Wan or Mandalorian or Boba Fett, you know? They always kind of go in between the movies, but why not in between some of your shows? That could be really fun. All right, so now into episode 5. We're done with Dooku. We're going back to Ahsoka. Episode 5 called Practice Makes Perfect. A Jedi Padawan is given a seemingly impossible exercise. In this one, you get to see basically Anakin train Ahsoka to end up surviving Clone Wars Season 7. Anakin watches her train like as Luke does and shit, you know, all the other Jedis with the robots you've seen a million times. But Anakin's like, that's not real training. Let me get all these stormtroopers to shoot you. Although, put it on stun, but they're gonna stun you and make you pass out with a lightsaber in your hand for years training. But I mean, it worked out. Look at her now. The time jumps in this were really cool because I honestly thought majority of this was gonna be like prequel storylines or even before prequels. So getting to see like some Clone Wars shit and just going through the timeline more was really fun. I didn't expect that, but I really enjoyed this episode of her training and just getting to see some more of that. All right, and lastly, we have episode 6. A former Jedi is faced with the truth that they cannot be something they are not. It's a little confusing, you know, whatever. But this one starts out with the reveal that Ahsoka was at Padme's funeral. Now, we can obviously go back to Revenge of the Sith and see that she wasn't there, but she's all cloaked up and shit, so it's kind of fun that now we can watch that, and we know she was there. You can even go back to this episode and watch that. We get a little cameo from General Organa, you know, and that was kind of fun. He questions her about what is she doing there, gives her like a little Star Wars walkie-talkie and says, if you need me, call me. She ends up being with these like farmers or something, and a haystack's gonna fall on one because the one guy's being like completely oblivious to shit. Ends up falling on this girl, but Ahsoka saves her, and oh no, the girl got a little too happy about that, and her brother fucking snitches on Ahsoka and gets an Inquisitor to come and attack her. The cool part about this, though, is I don't remember if it's a comic or a book, but she ends up taking his crystal and purifying it, and that's where she gets her white ones that we know. So that was kind of fun that, like, a lot of these, they stuck to a lot of, like, comics and books and, like, even some extended universe stuff where, like, I know the Dooku thing with him talking with Palpatine about Darth Maul and all that, like, that's from the Plagueis book, I believe. So even this Ahsoka stuff, like, it's really cool that Dave Filoni can fit that in there and not make it seem like, oh, we're just shoehorning this in here because it was in a book. Like, it just all around makes sense, which is really fun. I cannot wait now for Dave Filoni's Ahsoka show, or even Mandalorian to come back and shit, just to get his Star Wars again. Like, I was really digging Andor, but now seeing this, I'm like, fuck, I need more of this. Like, Andor is fun. It's going to string me along until we get other shit, of course, and I'm having fun episode to episode. Maybe not enough to do a video on it sometimes, but but this was so good. I need more like this. I don't care if it's animated. I don't care if it's live action. If it's from Dave Filoni writing it and the directors and people that he trusts, I'm totally on board. Yeah, I think that's gonna do it. I hope we get more Tales of the Jedi. I hope we get maybe even some Tales of the Sith. But yeah, that being said, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Comment down below what you guys thought of Tales of the Jedi. Peace out, Girl Scouts.